Welcome to the Urban Cowgirl Show.
Today's session is a repeat of our last session where we just moved Eve around with a lead line and a halter. That's a web halter. The rope halters are nice because they give you extra control.
Back.
But we've noticed that with
Back.
all of the hardware on harnesses, they tend to get hung up in
Back.
the hardware.
Back.
If a horse is
Good girl.
reaching back for any reason. So we like to use web halters. And now with Sadie, we've got a web halter on, but we also have the double-stranded nylon over her nose for the extra control. It's the Monty Roberts dually halter. The Sadie today is harnessed. We're going to harness her every time now because we want it to be old hat again, like it was 6 months ago when we were harnessing practically every other day. Just getting the harness tack on itself is an event. You need to make sure the horse will accept all of the feelings that are unlike the feelings that they're used to from saddle or just plain old surcingle. Okay, so we're just repeating what we did yesterday. The difference is Sadie has her harness on. Eve has no breeching on as in our last session. We want to make sure she's going to be a good girl today like she was in our last session, which was yesterday, I believe. Yeah, we just decided to do it again today. Now, with repetition, we think we're going to get Eve past her concerns and get her to be confident in us again. Okay, Angela, just walk around.
Evie.
So we're letting Sadie stay at first in one spot, and Eve, with her harness on, minus the breeching, is going to walk around Sadie. She's licking her lips. Her neck is down. She's not looking tense at all. Now, Angela, though, might be able to sense something that we're not seeing, so she'll let us know. She has a mic on. We have an extra helper today. It's Sarah, who's going to be helping us this summer doing all of this stuff. She has an arm extension in her hand and is there just in case we need extra help. Sadie looks calm. Good. Now, what we did yesterday, Scott, was if Angela gives you the go-ahead and she walks by you, you ask Sadie to walk with Eve, not too close, but in parallel if possible. And we try to adjust the speed so that they're walking at the same speed. We're getting back to pairs driving and pairs pulling.
Easy. Good girl,
recall
Evie.
that a few weeks ago there was a spook. Eve ran away from her handler into the camera tripod, knocked me over. I'm Sonia Sokolow, the Urban Cowgirl, which wasn't a good idea for me since I still have a hip problem that I am going to, I hope, have fixed in a few weeks.
Good girl, Evie.
She's looking good. Now,
Steady.
Good. Nice hose. Notice how the lead lines, we're holding them about 2 feet away from the bottom of the halter. That gives you the ability to provide a tug if you need it, but not a constant pressure. Do you want Scott to just walk up next to you now?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, Scott. Not too close, though. We're not sure if Eve is worried about Sadie or not.
Oh,
yeah, she is
easy.
a little bit worried. Okay, let's keep their focus. Whoa, no, definitely worried. Okay, Scott, stand still. Now, we're not going to release the pressure if she shows tension. That's just giving her a reward. We're just going to go back now to moving her around Sadie. You agree, Angela? There was
that's
a decibel higher of tension.
Yep.
So it isn't just the breeching.
Easy.
It's the interaction that we need to worry about. Being rather scientific here, we're going to work on one characteristic at a time until we get them back to what they were like about 6 months ago before the winter when we were driving them with cross-check reins in parallel.
Evie.
Matter of fact, tonight on community TV, no, excuse me, it's
Back.
tomorrow night, there is a show from
Back.
season 24.
Back. Back.
Put the arm extension across the front of her nose.
Okay.
So she sees it with her eyeballs.
Back.
Yeah,
Back.
and use your whole arm.
Back. Easy.
You
Back.
can turn the arm extension upside down and knock her in the breast. There are many
Back.
ways to get that
Back.
focus. There you go. Okay.
Good girl. Oh.
Good girl. Okay, now walk back around. If she comes around and it looks like everybody's being stress-free, take a few steps with her. And Angela, if you want him to stop, just say stop.
Easy.
Maybe right now, Scott.
Steady. Oh.
Okay, few steps. Coming around, Scott, and line up. Line up
Whoop.
next to her. Ah, she's getting stressed again. She's watching Sadie move.
Whoop.
So something is coming into her horsey brain that says, wait a minute, this could be spooky.
We'll go back around.
Okay. These few shows where we're working on getting past all this stress are really to show you the methods that we're working on, making our horses confident, soft, light, responsive.
Good girl. You're okay.
We use these methods for obstacles, for jumping, for trail, and now for pairs harness work to fix a problem that has occurred
Good girl, Eve.
through no fault of anybody. Not even Eve's fault.
Steady.
She's by nature a prey animal.
Whoop.
Good. Now, Angela, if you could go off to the west slightly, and Scott, you move with her, but about as far away as you are. Let's see what Eve says about her daughter, Sadie. Moving with her.
Step up. Steady. Oh. Good work, Eve.
Good, good. Yeah, but you see how she's looking at Sadie. Watch their body language. Watch their focus. She's not quite sure whether she should be afraid.
Doing a good job.
I'd like to do that one more time in any direction that you two choose.
Okay.
And Angela, this time maybe go twice as far as you went,
Okay.
unless Eve is showing stress. And then
Yep.
we need to remember to not relieve the pressure when she shows the stress, but to continue to ask for focus. But because of safety, we may have Scott stop. Okay?
Evie.
Okay, are you
Step up.
ready?
Step up.
I like that.
Good girl.
Good. That's a good time to find our moment of resolution.
Hop.
Hop.
Ah, well, they want to go on.
Easy. Oh.
Ah, yeah, now we probably should have stopped 5 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Okay, try to come back towards this way and stop about 5 steps from where you're at. So, Angela, first walk around Sadie.
Okay. I'll go around you. Step up.
You don't want to stop on a bad note. You want to find your moment of resolution, even if you have to go back to something you know that they're willing to do without stress. Okay, so now you'll be on Scott's left side, and Scott, when she comes by, walk towards the camera, maybe 8 steps or so, and then let's take that
Steady.
moment, if it's a quiet moment, and stop.
Good girl.
Good. Okay, stop whenever you're ready.
Steady. Oh. Good.
Nice.
Evie. Very nice.
All right, we're calling that our moment of resolution, our meeting our sub-objective today. Now, we did bring our Britchen over here from the third harness that we have. That's not a pairs harness, but a single harness. And we might put it on Eve's hips before we take her harness off. But first, we'll let Sadie go back to grazing with Semi, my third Morgan. And if there's anything to show you when we put the harness britchin on. Eve, we'll turn the camera back on. Well, we're going to drive line Eve today. We've been walking around with the lead line and her harness on with her collar and her surcingle. And we are using the crooper because it keeps the surcingle from sliding forward, but we're not using the britchin. We used a different set of britchin before we turned the camera on, and she did circle around in distress. So we're just going to see if we can do some driving with Eve without the britchin, because I see it all the time on Westerns and RFD and Rural Heritage. People, a lot of people don't use britchin. Now, if there's a reason for us to use britchin, we'll go back to desensitize her to it. There's something about it since her spook a couple weeks ago that scares her. But in the meantime, let's go back to driving. Go ahead, Angela, you're in charge. You tell Kyle. Kyle's going to have a lead line on at first. He has an arm extension.
Okay.
You're going to move where you were moving earlier before we turn the camera on, and let's see how she's doing.
Evie. Ha. Ha.
You might want to back a step. That's a pretty tight turn, but okay.
She'll be able to do it. She's good. Good girl, Evie.
We're here in our, what we call HVD West Pasture, which is where we have done a lot of driving with Eve and her daughter Sadie.
We'll do it.
And we're trying to get back to being comfortable driving them in pairs again.
Good girl. G.
Watch her body language. She's upheaded,
Nice
but
job.
her ears are back. She's listening to you, Angela, which is good.
Easy.
She's walking out very nicely. Let's do some figure eights, big bulbous figure eights to challenge her on Ha and G. And speak up when you tell her what you want. There, good.
Good girl.
If things go well today, we'll try this again with Sadie walking next to her in harness as well. We're going to get them back to driving in pairs. And so they understand their job is to stay parallel and at the same speed.
Good
Head on head.
girl.
I like that. It's looking good.
Easy.
Oh,
Okay.
she slipped?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So when you come around again, after you've done your G turn, Kyle, you release the lead line, stay with.
Easy. Easy. She had a little speed up and scare there. Evie, step up. You're okay.
Good.
We'll try.
Eve
Hello.
used to be our steadfast driving
Steady.
horse.
Oh.
And then we had that one spook.
Oh.
Good.
Good.
Now release the line, but stay with. This is called join up. Monty Roberts join up. Another couple figure eights, and that's all we'll do for today.
Okay.
And then
Step up.
hope that we can do this again with Sadie by her side.
Good girl.
We
Evie.
may or may not use the britchin on Sadie. Sadie's okay on the britchin, but she's not real fond of it. So until we have a reason to have them wear that britchin, like to keep tug straps up or something like that, we'd rather not have to worry about desensitizing them to that very unusual piece of tack.
G. Step up. Hop.
Stay behind her. She's a fast walker. It's very important when you have drive lines to stay behind.
Step up. Good
You
girl.
lose control if you end up on the side. I'm pleased. I'm pleased with what I see.
Step
Keep
up.
going.
Step up. G.
The weather's in our favor here.
Very nice.
One baby step at a time, we try to achieve our sub-objectives to reach our
Steady.
ultimate goal. pairs driving with Eve and Sadie. Now take her back to her tie area. Good.
Easy.
Good.
Easy there.
She's anxious to go back there.
Yep.
Okay, Kyle, you stay up there.
Steady. Oh.
Good. Good. And we have a clip there that ties to her halter.
Step up.
Good.
Very good.
She seems stress-free. Any comments, Angela?
There was a couple moments of stress, but she was very good most of the time.
Okay, just a couple moments, but she came right back to us, gave us her focus, her confidence. All right, I'm going to watch for just a moment while you take the drive lines off, because she hadn't had drive lines on in quite a while. The other parts of her harness she's had on many times since the spook that we had here.
Good girl.
The drive lines go through the collar, the rings on the collar, rings on the surcingle. You want to make sure they're completely clear before you lift them off.
Very good, Eve.
And look at her body language. It looks real good to me. Another session with Eve. We've got her original harness on her. It's not one of the two harnesses I bought for pairs driving. We're at the place where we first trained her to pull with a harness. We are what we at HVC we call it, not HVD. We're on the driveway, which is a sanded driveway. We're doing all the things we did 2 years ago with Eve because we're trying to figure out what is it that she's spooking about over at HVD. After all these weeks, she did have a spook, and we're still having trouble with the britchin on her over there. So we put the britchin on over here in a familiar place. We're doing this kind of scientifically. We're going to try to keep all the variables constant until we figure out, when we take her over there, what is it? It may be just over there that's causing her to be afraid. Sometimes it's not so easy to figure out what's going on in their minds, even if you can read their body language. Now, Angela said when she put the britchin on, Eve was fine. But usually if she's going to get not fine, it's when Angela moves her around. So we're not putting the bridle on right now. And next time we put the britchin on, we're going to put these extra straps on that go with this particular harness. But for today, we know we're okay because we've got the tug straps on to keep all the parts in the correct place for this harness. This is a very nice harness. And Eve learned how to do pulling with it. Then we went to the other property and started doing pairs pulling, and everything was going just wonderfully, and then we had a spook. So a couple shows back, and you'll be able to actually see the day it happened that she spooked and what we've been trying to do to re-desensitize her to whatever it is that's scaring her. And we kind of have to figure out what is it that is scaring her. Is it the feeling of the britchin? Would it be the feeling of these straps that go from the britchin to the collar? We're going to add these variables one step at a time and see if we're okay here. We're going to continue to retrain her. And on this driveway, if you look at a show back in 2010, it was part 3 of where we were training Eve to pull, to harness pull. We even took those poles that we use for pole bending out and put them in the middle of the driveway. And I did G and Ha with her so she'd get the feeling of G and Ha. So we're going to redo all of that before we go back to HVD and try to continue our pairs training. And we'll analyze as we go. Now, because I'm not real good in an emergency right now because my left hip is malfunctioning, I'm going to go do the camera. Kyle is going to come out here and walk along with Angela. Now, if Eve does what she does at our other pasture, she might just start circling around and showing stress. Right now, Kyle, can you look at her face close up? She is relaxed. Her ears are back. I think she's just probably feeling you touching her.
She's also listening to the animals in the bushes.
Oh, animals in the bushes. Yes, we have bushes along the driveway here, and Eve is always very, very aware of little slithery things and birds and so forth. Okay, so we're going to switch roles, and I'm going to try to describe to you what I'm seeing and what I hope you're seeing with the camera. And if all goes well today, well, okay, next time we'll do it with the extra straps, we'll do it with the poles, or even cones we'll do, and we'll retrace our steps from the 2010 program about when we were first training Eve to pull with a harness. Now here comes Kyle. Angela's just going to do the same thing she usually does in our pasture, but this is the original harness that she was trained in. Let's see if it feels different, or is it the britchin that's going to bother her?
Back.
Be a little bit more, yeah, tug a little harder, one or two, get her attention. That's it.
Evie, back.
Kyle, you can stand in front of her with your blue flag and not with too much vehemence. Just let her see the flag and say back, back, back and forth, back and forth like a windshield wiper, Kyle. Back,
Back.
back, good,
Back.
back and forth. Kyle, with your whole arm, not just with your wrist. Your whole arm, that's it. She's licking her lips. She's
Back.
not real scared. She's just
Back.
not getting the message and not giving us the kind of
Back.
enthusiasm we want when we have a request. Okay, now try to go forward. Let's see if the britchin is going to bother her.
Easy. Easy.
She's tucking her butt, isn't she?
Yes, she is.
Yeah, she's feeling that britchin. Okay, if we have to re-desensitize her to britchin here like we did 2 years ago when we first introduced her to it, we'll do that. We think we can recreate our trustworthy, best farming pull horse here at Shadrack Farms. And we do have an automatic double gate ahead at the beginning of the driveway, and it is closed. Okay, Angela, see if you can walk around a little bit.
Step up. Good girl, Evie. Easy.
That's it.
Pop. Good girl. Very good, Eve.
Good, Eve.
Step up. You're all right. Easy. Easy. Steady. Up.
Good.
Girl.
Okay, you have enough of a turn. You can make another U-turn.
Okay.
And you're going to try to walk a little faster, get a little bit more enthusiasm. We'll see if she tucks her butt.
Girl.
She's not tucking right now.
Easy.
Good. Come on back.
Hop.
Ha means left, G means right.
Yeah.
Okay, and this particular harness has a beautiful bridle with blinders. Next time we'll put that on. And we'll put the extra straps on. First we'll put the extra straps on and then the bridle on, as long as we can lead her just fine with the extra straps. And we'll see what pressures are bothering her here, and then take her back to our pasture where we do pairs driving.
That was hop. Step up, hop. Easy.
But tucked her butt a little bit right then, didn't she?
Yep.
Okay. Repetition, regain Eve's confidence. And we hope to show you some farming here with harness pull very soon. We even have a forecart ready to go. So that even if I have my hip surgery and I can't walk around still too well for weeks or months, I've got a forecart, a homemade forecart, and we want to use it with Eve. I'll let her come back. Good. Come back to the tie post.
Okay.
Now she's looking relaxed. Her head is down.
Yep.
And she's feeling relaxed, says Angela. Okay. All right.
Steady. Oh.
This was an interesting session for us, and we'll move on. in a recreation of confidence, mutual confidence, with Firecrest Easter Eve and harness pulling for farming. Our next session, we're going to take Eve down the driveway towards the pasture where we usually work with her. Turn around and come back. Next time, we'll go across the street. Eve has her blinders on, but she's, in the past, not had any problem with them. Kyle's going to be along in case there's trouble. Is she going to feel that britching? Is she going to get upset by it? Is she going to see something in the bushes bothering her?
G. Good.
She's going all the way to the oak tree, which is beyond this big green tree here.
Steady. Oh. Good girl, Eve. Oh.
Okay, was she good? We couldn't see the oak tree. We didn't think ahead.
Coming back around the oak tree, she sped up and she was nervous. Ooh.
Okay, but did she tuck her butt like the britching was bothering her?
I couldn't see.
Not as much as yesterday.
Okay.
A little bit, just a little bit, but not nearly as much as yesterday.
So good.
Then I'll tell you what. We may or may not video it, but go ahead and do it again.
Okay. Step up. Good girl. G.
See if I can get more of the picture. There's a truck parked there. See, going that direction is the way she goes to go to her turnout in the morning.
Good girl, Eve.
She may be anxious because she knows her herd mates are there. A little bit of interference here on the mics, and I hope that that won't cause a problem when I actually capture this video. Okay, she's going around to the right of the oak tree now, which you can't see. See if I can move over without causing a problem. Here she comes.
Easy. Bunny in there. I saw it.
And Angela has a mic on. I can hear she's talking to Kyle. Eve looks quite relaxed. You go on the other side of the pole on this return trip.
This side. G.
She's looking good. Angela,
Okay.
after you,
Boo.
yeah, after you stop and she's looking good. Tell me any problems.
She sped up on the way back again, and there was a bunny in the bush, but she didn't get too worried
Did she
about
see
it.
the bunny or just hear it?
I think she just heard it.
Okay. Okay. As you know, we've said this many times, Eve gets worried about things in bushes. Okay, that's all for today. We'll take off her tack, and the next time we do this, we'll tack up here, but we'll walk across the street to her pasture. And it's only a short distance across the street. We'll have
Steady. Oh.
Kyle walking along, or somebody else who can handle Eve if she gets spooked. But we always feel better when we're in fences and not on roads.
See more at www.urbancowgirlchannel.com.